The prison gates buzzed loudly as they rolled open. Tom stepped out first, squinting into the sunlight. Daya followed beside him, carrying the small bag they had been given back after release. Reporters waited across the street, cameras already pointed toward them, but something felt wrong. Too quiet. Too tense. Then a black SUV pulled up hard against the curb. Max jumped out before the vehicle had even fully stopped. "Tom," he yelled. Tom turned sharply. "Max, what happened?" Max looked pale, shaken. Guys, this was Sam doing this." Tom frowned. "How you know that?" Max swallowed hard. "Because the mayor took him too." Daya froze. "What?" "The mayor," Max repeated. "Sam disappeared 3 days ago. Nobody can find him, but that's not even the worst part." Tom stepped closer. "Then say it." Max looked directly at him. "Tom, your brother Ben is alive." Everything stopped. The traffic noise. The reporters. Even Daya's breathing. Tom stared at him. "No." Max nodded slowly. "Yeah, he's alive and Jeffrey and Sam are with him." Daya whispered, "That's impossible." "They're in the UK," Max continued. Ben, been secretly getting people out of New Jersey, group homes, facilities, bad placements, all of it. He's moving them overseas and reuniting them with their families." Tom's face hardened. "Ben died." "That's what everybody was told." Daya suddenly looked sick. "Someone told us Jeffrey was dead," she said quietly. Max nodded once. "That was part of it." Tom backed away a step, trying to process everything. "No, no, Jeffrey would have called, he would have said something." Then Max's phone started ringing. Unknown international number. Everybody stared at it. Max answered slowly and put it on speaker. Static crackled through the line. Then, "Tom." Tom's knees nearly gave out. "Ben." Daya covered her mouth. The voice on the phone laughed weakly. "Yeah, it's me." Tom couldn't speak. In the background there were voices, movement, airport announcements faintly echoing somewhere far away. Then another familiar voice came through. "Tom." "Jeffrey." Tom grabbed the phone so fast Max almost dropped it. "Jeffrey." "I'm okay," Jeffrey said softly. "I'm alive." Daya started crying instantly. Tom looked completely shattered. "They told us you were dead." "I know," Jeffrey answered. "Ben found out what was happening before anybody else did." Ben came back onto the line. "We didn't have time to explain," he said. "People were disappearing into systems and never getting back out. Group homes, institutions, fake guardianships. We had to move fast." Tom clenched his jaw. "You kidnapped people." "No," Ben said firmly. "I got them out." Behind Ben's voice, Jeffrey spoke to someone nearby. "No, my chair battery is okay now." Tom closed his eyes, hearing that voice again. "Real. Alive." Daya stepped closer to the phone. "Jeffrey, are you safe?" "Yes," he answered immediately. "All of us are." Ben continued. "I've been working with lawyers in the UK, journalists too. We've reunited 7 families already, more are coming." Tom shook his head slowly. "Why fake your death?" "Because people in power were helping cover this up," Ben replied, "including people connected to New Jersey placements." Max quietly added, "That's why the mayor got involved." Ben's voice lowered. "Tom, there's something bigger happening." The line went silent for a second. Then Jeffrey spoke again. "Sam's here too." Tom blinked. "Sam." A tired voice came onto the phone. "I tried to stop him at first," Sam admitted. "I thought Ben lost his mind, but he was right." Daya sat down hard on the curb, overwhelmed. Across the street, reporters noticed something was happening and began rushing closer. Tom looked around frantically. "Ben, where are you?" "London right now," Ben answered, "but we're moving again tomorrow." "Why?" "Because they're looking for us." The phone crackled again. Then Ben said the words that changed everything. "We're bringing more people home." Max lowered the phone slowly after the call ended. Nobody moved for a moment. The weight of everything sat heavily in the air. Then Max spoke again. "There's more." Tom looked exhausted already. "What now?" Max rubbed his face nervously. "Pat got Josh and Linda out too." Daya's head snapped toward him. "What?" "They're out of foster care," Max said. "Completely out. Pat moved them before the state could transfer them again." Tom stared in disbelief. My mom did that. Max nodded. She's been helping Ben quietly for months. Daya let out a bitter laugh. Of course she was. Max ignored the tone and continued. Tom, Daya, go home and get a bag. We're going to the UK. Tom blinked. What? Ben wants everyone there, families, witnesses, everybody. Tom paced a few steps away, overwhelmed. My mom is a state assistant, he muttered. She worked with APS for years. Daya folded her arms tightly. And this was because of your mother, Tom. Tom turned sharply. What are you talking about? She was in our home, Daya snapped. Talking with APS, talking with the mayor, kicking her own grandson toward another group home placement while Jeffrey was begging to stay with family. Tom looked conflicted. You don't know that. Yes, I do, Daya shouted. People nearby turned to stare. She knew things were wrong. She sat there acting helpless while Jeffrey got pushed around like paperwork. Max stepped in carefully. Pat didn't want to do it. Daya turned on him instantly. But she did, Max. Silence. Heavy silence. Tom looked torn apart inside. Daya's eyes were filled with anger now, but also guilt and grief. She watched that boy lose everything, Daya said quietly, and now we find out Ben had to fake his death just to save people. Max looked down. She thought she was protecting everyone legally, he admitted. Pat thought if she fought openly, they'd bury Jeffrey deeper in the system. Tom leaned against the SUV, breathing hard. My whole family lied to me. No, Max corrected softly, your family was split apart. The wind blew across the parking lot. Then Tom's phone buzzed. A text message. Unknown UK number. It was a photo. Jeffrey sitting in his power chair near the River Thames at night, wrapped in a heavy hoodie, smiling weakly beside Ben and Sam. Under the photo was one message. He's safe, now come here before they shut this down too. The black government SUV slid sideways across the road, blocking them before they could leave. Doors opened instantly. State officers stepped out first. Then the mayor himself emerged from the backseat, fixing his suit jacket calmly like he had been expecting this moment all day. Tom stopped walking. Daya muttered, You've got to be kidding me. Max stepped protectively in front of them. The mayor looked directly at the three of them. You won't be going anywhere. Tom's face darkened. Move. No, the mayor said coldly, you three are coming back to Georgia. Daya laughed angrily. For what? The mayor ignored her. And those two kids. He continued, Josh and Linda will remain under state supervision until we review this situation. Max shook his head. They're already out of foster care legally. For now, the mayor replied. Tom stepped closer. Where's the warrant? The mayor's expression hardened. Sam and Jeffrey will not be returning, he said flatly. Do you understand me? Daya's eyes widened with rage. If you three continue interfering, the mayor continued, you'll go right back to jail, and I will personally make sure Sam and Jeffrey are sent back to New Jersey custody. Tom clenched his fists. You can't do that. The mayor leaned closer. I can do a lot more than you think. Silence. Then he said the one thing that made even Max recoil. Those two men are a waste of space. Tom moved instantly. Max grabbed him before he could swing. Tom, Max shouted. The mayor didn't even flinch. They will never come back here, he continued coldly. The group homes are already being shut down. Daya frowned. What? The mayor smirked slightly. New contracts, new development plans, shops, businesses, retail expansion. Those properties are worth more than the people inside them ever were. Max stared at him in disbelief. You're tearing them down. The state is restructuring. Tom looked sick hearing it. Kids displaced. Adults abandoned. Families erased. For money. Daya stepped forward slowly. You knew, she whispered. The mayor tilted his head. You all think this was about helping people, he asked. No, it was about control, liability, money, public image. Tom's breathing became uneven. You told everyone Jeffrey was dead. The mayor said nothing. That silence answered everything. Then Daya exploded. You let that family suffer, you let that boy believe nobody wanted him. Officers started moving closer. The mayor raised one hand, stopping them. Then he looked directly at Tom. "Do not bring them back," he warned quietly. "Or else." The wind moved through the empty street. Then, Max's phone buzzed again. Another international call. The mayor immediately noticed. His calm expression cracked for the first time. Max answered slowly. Ben's voice came through the speaker. "We heard everything." The mayor's face went pale. Ben continued calmly. "You just threatened witnesses, admitted state involvement, and confirmed illegal placements in front of multiple officers and reporters." Everyone froze. Across the street, cameras were still rolling. The reporters had captured all of it. The mayor turned sharply toward them. "Too late." Then Jeffrey's voice came softly through the phone. "You called me a waste of space." The entire street went silent. Jeffrey sounded hurt, but steady. "You know what the saddest part is?" Jeffrey asked quietly. "I used to believe you." The mayor's composure finally shattered. "Give me that phone." Before Max could react, the mayor lunged forward and ripped the phone from his hand. "Hey," Max yelled. The call crackled violently as the mayor held it up. Ben's voice shouted through the speaker, distorted now. "Don't you touch." The mayor turned and hurled the phone as hard as he could. It spun through the air. Then, splash! The phone disappeared into the dark pond beside the courthouse parking lot. Silence hit instantly. Everybody stared. Ripples spread slowly across the black water. Tom looked stunned. "Did you just?" The mayor pointed directly at them. "This ends now." Daya looked ready to explode. "You are insane." The mayor ignored her completely. "No more calls, no more flights, no more running to the UK. His voice shook with anger now. "Those men are staying gone." Max stepped forward carefully. "You just destroyed evidence in front of reporters." The mayor snapped back instantly. "I destroyed a phone." One of the reporters nearby shouted, "We got that on camera." The mayor's head turned sharply toward them. For the first time, fear flickered across his face. Tom noticed it immediately. "You're scared," Tom said quietly. The mayor glared at him. "You have no idea what's happening." "No," Tom answered, stepping closer. "I think we finally do." The officers behind the mayor shifted uneasily now. Some looked uncertain. Others were already glancing toward the reporters. Daya folded her arms tightly. "You can throw phones into ponds all day," she said coldly, "but Jeffrey is still alive." The mayor said nothing. "And Ben is alive," she continued, "which means whatever cover-up happened is falling apart." The mayor suddenly shouted, "You think those people can survive out there?" Everyone froze. His voice cracked with something deeper now. "They don't know how to live outside those homes. They always come back, always." Tom stared at him in disbelief. "That's what you think this is about?" Tom asked. "Control." The mayor breathed heavily. "The system exists for a reason." Daya shook her head slowly. "No," she said, "people like you exist for a reason." The wind picked up harder around them. Then another voice came from behind the reporters. "Actually, the livestream never ended." Everyone turned. One young cameraman slowly lifted a second phone. The screen was still live. Thousands of viewers scrolling upward in real time. Comments exploding across the broadcast. He threw the phone. "JFFREY is alive. Someone arrest HIM. Save those people." "What group HOMES?" The mayor's face drained completely of color. Max gave a small stunned laugh. "You threw the wrong phone in the pond." The mayor's composure finally shattered. "Give me that phone." Before Max could react, the mayor lunged forward and ripped the phone from his hand. "Hey," Max yelled. The call crackled violently as the mayor held it up. Ben's voice shouted through the speaker, distorted now. "Don't you touch." The mayor turned and hurled the phone as hard as he could. It spun through the air. Then, splash! The phone disappeared into the dark pond beside the courthouse parking lot. Silence hit instantly. Everybody stared. Ripples spread slowly across the black water. Tom looked stunned. "Did you just?" The mayor pointed directly at them. "This ends now." Daya looked ready to explode. "You are insane." The mayor ignored her completely. "No more calls, no more flights, no more running to the UK." His voice shook with anger now. those men are staying gone. Max stepped forward carefully. You just destroyed evidence in front of reporters. The mayor snapped back instantly. I destroyed a phone. One of the reporters nearby shouted, we got that on camera. The mayor's head turned sharply toward them. For the first time, fear flickered across his face. Tom noticed it immediately. You're scared, Tom said quietly. The mayor glared at him. You have no idea what's happening. No, Tom answered, stepping closer, I think we finally do. The officers behind the mayor shifted uneasily now, some looked uncertain, others were already glancing toward the reporters. Daya folded her arms tightly. You can throw phones into ponds all day, she said coldly, but Jeffrey is still alive. The mayor said nothing. And Ben is alive, she continued, which means whatever cover-up happened is falling apart. The mayor suddenly shouted. You think those people can survive out there? Everyone froze. His voice cracked with something deeper now. They don't know how to live outside those homes, they always come back, always. Tom stared at him in disbelief. That's what you think this is about? Tom asked. Control. The mayor breathed heavily. The system exists for a reason. Daya shook her head slowly. No, she said, people like you exist for a reason. The wind picked up harder around them. Then another voice came from behind the reporters. Actually, the livestream never ended. Everyone turned. One young cameraman slowly lifted a second phone. The screen was still live. Thousands of viewers scrolling upward in real time. Comments exploding across the broadcast. He threw the phone. JFFREY is alive. Someone arrest HIM. Save those people. What group HOMES? The mayor's face drained completely of color. Max gave a small stunned laugh. You threw the wrong phone in the pond. The mayor stood frozen as the livestream comments flooded faster and faster across the screen. Officers were whispering now. Reporters kept recording. Nobody trusted the situation anymore. Max slowly stepped forward, keeping his voice calm. My brother Sam lived in the UK before, he said, long before any of this happened. The mayor's eyes narrowed. Max continued. So yes, Sam, probably showing Ben and Jeffrey around right now. Tom almost smiled hearing that. For the first time all day, the image in his head wasn't fear or panic. It was Jeffrey finally being somewhere safe. Maybe rolling through London streets in his power chair. Maybe laughing for once. Maybe seeing something besides hospitals, hearings, and group homes. Max looked directly at the mayor. You thought they were hiding. He shook his head. They're living. The mayor's jaw tightened. You don't understand international law. No, Daya interrupted sharply, you don't understand people. The mayor turned toward her angrily. You think the UK is just going to protect fugitives? Tom answered this time. Fugitives, he repeated, Jeffrey didn't even commit a crime. The mayor stayed silent. Neither Tom nor Daya missed that. Max crossed his arms. You know what I think scares you most, Mr. Mayor. The mayor glared at him but said nothing. That Jeffrey talks now. Quiet. Heavy quiet. Back in New Jersey, Max continued, people talked over him, about him, around him, treated him like paperwork. Tom looked down ashamed. But now, Max said, now thousands of people just heard his voice live. The livestream cameraman nodded slightly. Comments still poured upward endlessly. Let JFFREY speak. We believe HIM. Who lied about his death? Expose the system. The mayor looked around at the growing crowd forming outside the courthouse. Control was slipping. Fast. Then Max added one final thing. And if Sam's showing them around London, he smirked faintly. Jeffrey probably already seen more freedom in 2 days than he got in 10 years here. For the first time, the mayor had absolutely no response. The tension outside the courthouse hadn't fully settled yet. Reporters were still shouting questions. Officers were still unsure who they were supposed to follow. The mayor stood stiff, watching everything unravel in real time. Then a voice cut through it all. Excuse me. Everyone turned. An airline representative in a dark uniform stepped forward, holding a tablet and a stack of printed boarding documents. He looked calm, almost too calm for the chaos happening around him. I've been instructed to speak with Tom, Daya, and Max. Tom frowned. Who sent you? The man didn't hesitate. The airline, he said simply, and the International Oversight Office working with the UK case team. Daya narrowed her eyes. What case team? The man tapped his tablet once. Relocation of protected witnesses and reunification cases. Max's expression shifted immediately. That's real. The man nodded. 3 free tickets to the UK, he said, on the house. Tom blinked. That doesn't happen. The man gave a small, professional shrug. It does when multiple governments are watching a live stream of a mayor threatening witnesses and destroying evidence. A ripple of murmurs went through the crowd. Daya let out a sharp breath. So this is official. Yes, the man confirmed. First class, immediate departure. Tom looked toward the mayor. For the first time, the mayor didn't look powerful. He looked cornered. Max exhaled slowly. So we're really going. The airline rep nodded. Gate is already secured. Flight is waiting. A beat of silence passed. Then Daya picked up her bag. Good, she said, because I'm done standing in this place. Tom looked down at the courthouse steps, then at the live stream camera still rolling. Then finally he said it. Let's go find them. Max nodded. And together the 3 of them walked away from the courthouse toward the waiting car, the airport, and a flight that no one could stop anymore. The airline representative paused just as they were about to head toward the car. Max, wait here a second. Max turned back. What is it? The man reached into his jacket and pulled out a sealed box with a phone inside. A new phone, he said simply, handing it over. Secure line, encrypted, direct contact with the UK coordination team. Max blinked. You're just giving me this. The man gave a small shrug. My kid doesn't need one yet anyway, he said with a faint, tired half-smile. And you do. Daya looked at the phone, then at Max. That's actually insane. Tom exhaled slowly. Nothing about today is normal anymore. The man stepped back a little, gesturing toward the car waiting at the curb. Hope you 3 have a safe trip, he said. For the first time in what felt like hours, the tone wasn't tense, it wasn't threatening, just human. Max turned the phone over in his hands. First-class tickets, he muttered. A secure phone, international coordination. Daya adjusted her bag. We went from jail to spy movie in like 40 minutes. Tom gave a short, uneasy laugh. Still doesn't feel real. Max looked toward the courthouse one last time, at the chaos, the reporters, the mayor still standing there with everything slipping out of his control. Then he turned away. Come on, Max said, we've got a flight to catch. And for the first time, they moved forward without looking back. After a few hours in the air, the plane finally descended through low gray clouds and touched down in the UK. The ride there had been quiet. Too quiet. Tom barely spoke. Daya kept staring out the window like she was trying to convince herself it was real. Max held the new secure phone the entire flight like it might disappear if he let go. When they stepped off the plane, everything felt different. Colder air, unfamiliar signs, a new rhythm to the world around them. A driver was already waiting. No questions, no delays. Just a sign with their names. They were taken straight from the airport to a large, calm residential building on the edge of a quiet town. Not a hospital. Not a facility. Something softer. More like a protected home. Inside, the lighting was warm, the floors were clean but lived in, there were quiet voices down the hall. And then a nurse stepped forward. She looked at them carefully, as if she already knew why they were here. You guys are here for Jeffrey and Samuel, she said gently. Tom's breath caught. Daya stepped forward immediately. Yes, where are they? The nurse nodded once. They've been waiting. Max tightened his grip on the phone. Are they okay? He asked. The nurse gave a small reassuring smile. They're safe, she said, both of them. She turned slightly and gestured down the hallway. Follow me. For a moment nobody moved. Then Tom took the first step. And the others followed. They followed the nurse down a quiet hallway. At the end of it, a door stood slightly open. Voices came from inside. Tom stopped just outside it. Daya's hand hovered near the frame. Max didn't wait. He pushed the door open. And there they were. Sam turned first. For a second, nobody moved. Then Sam's face broke into a tired, relieved grin. Max. Max didn't even let him finish. Shut up, Max said instantly, voice cracking, stepping forward fast. And give your fat ass little brother a hug, will you? Sam let out a short laugh, half shock, half relief before pulling him in. Max held on like he was making sure it was real. Tom stood frozen in the doorway. Then his eyes locked onto Jeffrey. Jeffrey was sitting in his chair near the window, hands gripping the wheels slightly tighter as he looked up. Daya's breath caught. Jeffrey's voice came out quiet at first. Mom, Dad. That was all it took. Tom moved first, crossing the room fast, dropping down beside him. Hey, Tom said, voice breaking. Hey, I'm here. Daya knelt on the other side immediately, hand shaking as she reached for him. Jeffrey blinked hard like he didn't trust his own eyes. You're really here, he whispered. Max and Sam were still half laughing, half holding each other like neither wanted to let go first. Sam finally stepped back slightly, wiping his face. Yeah, Sam said softly, we're here. The room went quiet in a different way now. Not tense. Not heavy. Just full. Jeffrey looked between them all, like he was trying to make sure no one disappeared if he looked away. Then he exhaled, shaky but real. Took you long enough. The room stayed quiet for a moment after Jeffrey's question. Can we move now? He asked again, softer this time. Tom looked at him, really looked at him this time. Then at Daya. Then at Sam. Max leaned back against the wall, still trying to steady his breathing from everything that had happened. Tom finally spoke. We're thinking about it for real this time. Jeffrey didn't interrupt. He just watched him carefully, like he was afraid the answer might change. Sam exhaled and answered Tom's earlier question. Ben's still out there, Sam said. He's getting more people out of New Jersey group homes, bringing them here. Daya frowned, so he didn't stop. Sam shook his head. No, he said once he started, he couldn't stop until he got everyone who's stuck. Max crossed his arms. So he's basically building a whole rescue network. Sam nodded, yeah, quietly, fast as he can. Jeffrey glanced between them all. So I'm not the only one anymore, he said quietly. Daya immediately shook her head. You were never the only one, she said, they just made it look like that. Tom stepped closer to Jeffrey's chair. We're here now, Tom said, and we're not leaving you behind again. Jeffrey studied him for a long moment. Then he nodded once. Good, he said, because I don't want to go back there. A heavy silence followed, but it wasn't fear anymore. It was decision forming. Max pushed off the wall. Okay, he said, so what's the plan, because Ben's out there, Sam's here, and we've got half a system collapsing behind us. Tom looked at Daya. Daya looked at Jeffrey. Then Tom finally said it clearly. We move forward, he said, together this time.